And good afternoon. Welcome back to AM 1410 WRMN in Elgin. It is 3:03 on this Wednesday afternoon, a beautiful Wednesday afternoon on this, the 5th day of October, 2011. You listeners out there, you want to lose weight fast, you want to get rich quick, you want to look young forever, welcome to the Low Carb Show with Laura Dion-Jones. How you doing this afternoon?
Listen to you. It is beautiful out, isn't it?
I want to reiterate the fact that this is a low carb show.
Thank you. It's good for your health.
It is good for your health, and we have a lot of healthy guests in here today, too, so I think we'll just pass it over to you. I've done my commenting on the beautiful day, and we'll just give it to Laura Dion-Jones, and you can fill in the blanks from there.
Thank you, honey. I'm Marvy. I'm using your favorite word of mine.
The hat's right here.
And bring that adjective hat over here because I tend to use the F word way too much.
The adjective hat.
Fabulous.
Okay.
Not what you were thinking. And I got to say, you know what? I don't know how you feel about Amanda Knox, but finally being free. But I say praise God because I am one of the ones that don't think she did it. I think what's her name in Florida? Anthony, Casey Anthony. There's no question in my mind. She put that little heart-shaped sticker over that duct tape over the kid's mouth. But this one, I'm not convinced. However, girlfriend wasted no time getting out of Dodge.
Well, what's she going to do, hang around?
Yeah, that's good.
Not me, man. I would have got
Seattle.
I would have rented a car and got out of there.
Well.
And then also, too, what surprised me was my favorite courtroom queen, Nancy Grace. You know how much I love her. She thinks Amanda Knox got away with murder. I was chilled at her explanation. I can't reiterate it for you because it was a little too detailed for me, and Nancy Grace does talk faster than I do. But she thinks she did it, and she just bam, 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 laid out the scenario. And Amanda Knox, to me, does not look like that kind of girl. I'm sorry. And she didn't display any kind of sociopathic ick like Casey Anthony does. But anyway, and
a lot
then
of your judgment comes by your feelings, though, right?
I got the gut feeling she didn't do it. Got the gut feeling Casey did.
A lot of gut feelings are always a good way to go.
And you know what? How about you don't watch Good Wife, do you?
No.
Anybody in here watch Good Wife besides me and Valerie?
11.1 million saw it this
Well,
past Sunday.
see? And 2 of those 11.1 million are in this office. I mean, in the studio. But, again, it was hot, hot, hot.
I know.
Yow. And anyone tune into The Amazing Race? You know, that's one of my favorites. You do?
Yes.
No? Yes?
I know.
Two were eliminated.
Don't.
Two groups were eliminated. Is that right?
You know something? I am tuned in, but you know what? I haven't really bonded with anybody yet. Like I usually do right off. Some of them are a little too for me. I've been spending less time watching TV and a lot more time reading and writing because I have a bunch of incredible nationally known guests coming up for the rest of the year. We're booked pretty much till the end of the year.
As we should be.
And I have to bone up on everybody, so I've been watching Amazing with only half of an eye. And anybody watch The Big C? You watch The Big C, Valerie? I got to tell you something. Laura Linney, fabulous. See the F word. Fabulous. And if you don't watch The Big C, right along with me, then you won't know or realize that life is much shorter than we can even imagine. And I want to say something about just ask the Munsons, because sadly, for those of you who don't know, Steve Munson passed away early this past weekend, and the entire Munson and Boca Jump families have our deepest sympathy. And switching gears a little, I saw Moneyball Saturday night. Anybody see Moneyball?
Wow.
Not yet.
It's great.
You
No,
didn't?
I
No?
haven't seen it yet, but it's gotten wonderful reviews.
You know, here's what we don't understand. It
Base
was just
percentage.
okay.
Oh, well,
The
for you to
acting-
say a sports movie is just okay is fine.
No,
because
I
it's
was with a
theme.
sports aficionado. I was with a baseball
He probably
freak.
doesn't care a hoot about the A's, though.
Well, I don't know. But you know what? I didn't think it was anywhere near as fabulous as the raving about. And my friend gave it a 6.5, and I'm not sure I'd give it much more. However, the acting was superb, but the action was slow, and there was 0 sex scenes. Not that means anything to a lot of people, but
That's kept in the clubhouse in the major league scene. You know that. Mike.
No, of course.
Yeah.
not from my experience, it's not. But hey, that's another show.
Started that concept.
That's another show.
Well,
I'm just saying.
You know who you could have on the show briefly? Roger Smithberg is a pre-Moneyball, but he is a former Oakland A, born in Elgin. Played with the A's prior to the Moneyball concept, but he might have he was at the Steve Munson funeral the other day. It made me think of him.
Oh, no kidding.
So yesterday, he had major league experience in that same organization that evolved into Moneyball.
Cool.
So he might have a good Elgin concept on it.
Leave
He's
it
a
to
shy
you.
guy, though. Roger.
Yeah, shy like you.
Yes.
I could tell. And the Chicago Marathon is only It's this coming Sunday.
Oh, my goodness. That's great.
And joining us today is one of my very favorite personal trainer friends who's actually running in this
nice.
company Sunday, this coming Sunday. And her name is Elaine Brennan, and she's in studio with us today to talk a little bit about fitness tips and then what each of you can possibly do at home to stay fit through the upcoming holidays, birthdays, and beyond. So put your thinking cap on. Okay. And I would like to know what we're doing. And would you like to know what we're doing after today's show?
I always want to know what you're doing after the show.
Well, today Elaine and I are going over to ECC to my class, and she's going to teach all of my students how to effectively weight train at home using simple things that they might have on hand, because it's been a big
wonderful
popular demand.
Could we do that in the studio? Could we have a briefing?
Yeah, toward the end of the show, absolutely. And you used to be a cheerleader? Is that what you tell me? See?
It all fits. All your guests were cheerleaders.
We've got a terrific show for you today, and our very special in-studio guest is Tom Hartwell, and he is a very well-known Elgin area attorney and youth sports coach, and he's joining us. And Tom is running in the Republican primary for Kane County Circuit Court Clerk.
Correct.
Okay, that's tough to say.
Yeah.
That's like she sells seashells by the Kane County Circuit Court Clerk.
That's right.
Okay.
26.2 miles. No, that's
and what exactly does
it's probably just as long.
Yeah.
For him.
And I want to know, we'll have to have Tom explain what exactly a county circuit court clerk does, but we'll discuss it in his upcoming interview, and also about his upcoming campaign and what he hopes to accomplish if elected, which I'm sure you will be. I should say when elected. We'll stress that if, when elected. And he's also going to tell us a little bit about his wonderful involvement in area-wide youth sports.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And along with Tom Hartwell and Elaine Brennan, Hollywood filmmaker Sam Auster is in town to promote his newest film, The Return of Joe Rich, which is debuting at the Chicago Film Fest this coming weekend, and it's co-starring that awesome hunkster Armand Assante.
Wow.
Can you do Armand Assante?
No.
Practice up, honey.
Hello, little girl.
That sounds like Pepe Le Pew. What do you mean? Armand Assante plays Godfather.
In the French culture, they're very similar.
Okay, the French Moth.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. Sam will join us right after the half via phone, so without wasting any more time, in the studio with us today. Why are you looking at me with that face?
I want to know, with all this TV that you're watching, do you watch the commercials as well?
Yeah.
Have you seen the new Blind Spot commercial?
Give me a hint.
Mayhem in the Blind Spot. No! So you don't watch all the commercials. Yeah, he's now the blind spot in your car.
No!
It's great.
I love this guy. His name is Dean Winters. He's from Ohio.
Yeah.
And I am absolutely crazy about that scruffy little dude.
Yeah, he's the blind spot now. I love it.
We are going to get him on the show. We got a couple of spots open between now and the end of the year. We are going to get that boy on this show. Listen.
Or pay the price.
That's it. I'm going to make myself a note. Mayhem. M-A-Y-H-E-M. That's.
Why separate this show from any other show? Put Mayhem on top.
Do you know that this is my 99th show?
Wow.
Nice.
What are we going to do for my 2-year anniversary?
Well,
and will that be the 104th show?
Or the
will it be
105th if you follow the calendar. You know how stickler we are on this.
Yes,
and
we
you
are
guys
stickler.
better look it up, because I think it was November 8th, and I think November 8th is a Friday. But I'm wasting.
Well, it can't be the same day of the week. You know, the calendar does churn over every year.
Oh, it does?
Yes. There's only 11 total calendars, though.
I thought there was 12 months.
No, there is. I mean, 2 years later, it would not be the same day of the week, but that's just a small thing. You didn't celebrate your birthday on the same day of the week.
Come on.
Oh, my. Mayhem it is. Snort.
Okay, so in the studio with us today, get that boy on the phone, will you please?
I work on it. I try.
Mike Hunziger, he's a great guy, pal, and a loyal sidekick, kind of like Tonto. And he's a trusty boardman, if there ever was one. And then also Jeff Myers, my very sensational and sentimental co-host, who better learn how to...
Two Broke Girls is my favorite.
that was my
I like
plan.
television.
Sorry.
Two Broke Girls. That's my favorite. So there, CBS.
Two Broke Girls?
Yeah, it's doing well. And we're broadcasters. We feel close to Two Broke Girls. We dated them, didn't we? Yes, we did.
Yes.
That's another
Not
story.
at the same time, though. Not
No.
at the same time.
Separated by at least a month. All right. Next.
And, of course, our very favorite YouTube camera girl, Valerie the Swan. Say hi, Val. So stick around, kids. We've got a whole lot of interesting talking lined up for you today. You're listening to the Laura Dion-Jones Show on WRMN, 1410 AM. And meanwhile, back at the WRMN Ranch, I love saying that. Imagine someday having a real WRMN ranch.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be cool?
Sure it would be.
Today's show is brought to you again by...
Dr. Claire Leyes. She, of course, is located right at 2001 Larkin Avenue, one of the legends in town. And again, when it comes to the world of chiropractic, you always think of Dr. Claire. She's been in that same location for 23 years now. And Diva,
Yes.
Your posture?
Oh, my posture.
For
I thought
the
it was my
camera?
turn to talk.
Your YouTube man's putting these shows up immediately now, so your
Yeah, he
posture
is.
is following you in your shadow.
Yes.
So
yes,
you'll
yes.
see that right there. Give her a call. Dr. Claire Elias at 847-888-9988 for the wonderful world of chiropractic after 23 years of glory. Hey, how about all the teens who want a great driver's education class? Why don't you call Azarella Driving School? That's Azarella, A-Z-A-R-E-L-A. Our low rate of only $3.99 for all 36 hours is far less than you might have to pay at your high school, as you know, back in those high school days. You'll also learn a free self-defense in our program because of bullies and road rage. That's a key component as well. The next class begins just around the corner, does it not? In fact, we can join this class now as this class is beginning this first week
You
of
got to
October.
call Linda Azarella and get the okay, but boy, I'm sure you could, so let's give her phone
Can
number.
I pick it up late? If you're good drivers out there, you want to be better drivers, this is the place for you. 847, and especially you runners, 373-4137 for more information. Azarella Driving School. Learn how to drive and survive.
What a slogan. And would also like to thank snobhounds.com, a canine clothing company. Think Nike meets Donna Karan, but for canines. Snobhounds is true environmental protection wear for your pooches. And would also like to thank KC Tool, an automotive specialty tool company, available through your Snap-on mobile tool distributor. And a very special thank you to KC for making this show and all of our shows possible. And now it's time for Laura's Motivational Minute with our quote of the week. You ready?
Ready.
Who said, and let me just preface this and tell you that if by some strange miracle you kids guess this one, I will eat your headset.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
Pass the salt.
Yeah. George hates when I use obscure speakers' quotes, but profound things are not always said by the most profoundly well-known.
Wow.
Isn't that well
Tom's
said?
got this one, I think. Feel free.
Oh, because he's looking at my nose.
Well, he knows this stuff.
Sometimes the most profound statements come from just us ordinary folk. And the word of the day is profound. Oh, you're going to look it up. I got to talk faster
I'm
than
not
you can
doing
type.
that.
Hey.
No, it's paying a bill.
Here we go. Quote, "It's not what you are willing to do that will make you successful. It's what you are willing to do without till you get there."
Wow. I hear typing in the background.
No,
And
you
it
don't.
And it wasn't George Washington.
George Rawlinson?
No.
How about Babe Ruth?
I want to see Mikey get this with that
Well,
little
if
magic
he
box
goes
there.
to the computer, it's
I
legal.
like my headset, though. I don't want you to use
Yeah.
my headset. There's too many
That'll look good on
cars in it for
YouTube
you.
camera, wouldn't it?
Do I get a guess?
Yes.
Einstein.
No, Daniel Waldschmidt. He's a motivational sales and marketing maven.
Is he currently alive?
Yes.
Is he bigger than a red box?
Bigger
That's
than
only
a
right.
red box, and
20
he's younger
questions
than
here?
you.
Oh, my heavens.
Okay. Now, I don't know about you kids, but there certainly are a host of things that I cannot personally do without. And my old addictive, destructive eating behavior is no longer one of them. You knew I was going to segue like this. Mm-hmm. People claim that they don't have a problem with eating too much. They just have a problem with addiction to food. I did too until I got a grip and broke my addiction to white starch and sugar, and then added an hour of daily cardio into my health and fitness mix. I know only too well that each day is a battle for those who struggle with a food addiction that has plagued them for decades like mine once did. We have become a nation of sugar junkies, and trust me, it's the white starch and sugar carbs that are making us fat, fueling our national obesity epidemic. It is not the dietary fat. You know the drill by now. If you're struggling with one diet after another, look at exactly what you're eating and stop the denial. It's not only what you're willing to do to lose your unhealthy, unwanted weight that will make your weight loss successful, as much as it's really all those white starch and sugar carb foods that you're willing to stop eating to get there.
Jeez.
In the end, it is all up to little Y-O-U. Now go read the rest of this motivational advice piece on elgin.bocajump.com/blogs and look under my name. It's terrific. And now that we got that out of the way, it's time for our special guest today. Please let's give a warm LDJ welcome to Tom Hartwell, who is a very well-known Elgin area attorney and youth sports coach. And Tom is running in the Republican primary again for Kane County Circuit Court Clerk. Welcome, Tom.
Thank you. Technically, it's just the circuit clerk.
Okay, where did I get circuit court clerk?
Well, it's easier to understand if you say court clerk because that's really the office. It has to do with the courts. There is another clerk. There's the Kane County clerk, who is Jack Cunningham, and he's in charge of the elections, birth certificates, that area, while the circuit clerk maintains the court files for Kane County.
That's you.
That's what I hope
That's
to be.
going to be you.
That's what I hope to be. Yes.
Well, thank you for joining us today, and I was going to ask you that, and thank you for clearing that up. And tell us just a little bit about yourself. If you're married, you have kids.
Sure. I have 2 kids.
How old?
One's 21 and one's 17. My older son Dave is in college. He's at Lyon College in Batesville, Arkansas, on a baseball and golf scholarship.
Took the words out of my mouth. I was
And
just
Jeff's mouth, yeah.
Yeah, wonderful.
Oh boy, don't get these guys going with sports here.
That's great.
Oh my God, I'm outnumbered.
Yeah. Plus, on top of that, he's a math major and wants to be a teacher.
Wow.
Bless
So
him.
he's got
Coolski.
it, absolutely. And then
That's
my
never been done before. Congratulations
Yeah.
to him. Those 2 sports and a math major.
And then my younger son Danny is a senior at Burlington Central High School.
Okay.
And he is pursuing a chemical engineering future.
A brainiac.
Yeah.
Wow.
So he's still contemplating various colleges he'd like to attend.
Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in, actually I was born in Chicago,
Where?
on the south side.
And where?
Yeah, in the South Chicago Hospital.
No way.
Yes.
And
yes,
where
yes.
did you grow up?
Well, actually, there's Hartwell Avenue, which is a street in
Named
Chicago
after your
named
family?
after our family.
You're kidding
Yeah.
me. Look at
Yeah.
this.
Wow.
And then when I was 3 or 4 years old, I moved to my folks, of course, moved to South Holland,
Oh,
and we lived there for
no.
25 years.
Wow.
Where'd you go to high school?
Yeah, I went to Thornwood High School.
You're kidding.
Yes.
Boy, I bet I should have known this in the green room. We could have dished. I bet we know some, 6 degrees of separation. I bet we know some
Oh,
folks.
yes, absolutely.
Seriously, because I grew up
Absolutely.
in like kind of South Chicago, went to Chicago Vocational High School,
okay,
and then
great.
we moved to Eddie Verdoliak's neighborhood on the east side. You know
Yes,
East Side.
I know the East Side, Hegwish. Sure.
Yeah, not
Absolutely.
Hegwish, but East Side.
Yeah, I understand your
Calumet
Hegwish.
Beach,
Yeah,
huh?
Right.
Look
Now
at me,
we're
got 3
out
South
those
Siders.
times.
Oh, 4, Valerie. Oh, no, you're not. West
She's
Side.
West
Oh.
Side. Yeah,
She's of the opinion West Side the best side.
Okay.
Moving right along. Where do you live today? You live in Burlington?
No, actually today I live just west of Elgin, east of Providence, just west of Elgin Country Club. The school district comes all the way into Elgin. The Burlington
okay.
School District is a very large
He's far
district.
west Elgin out there.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm not
far
familiar
west.
yet.
That-
I know that you're a very successful attorney. So why do you want to run for elected office yet again?
Yet again. Yeah. Well, I've always loved to serve people. Starting with back in the 90s, I helped a young man by the name of Joel Perez. He was a former gang member. Help organize a couple anti-gang programs, one here in Elgin, one in Aurora. And that service just just flows through my soul. And running for public office is that. It's for me. It's an opportunity to serve people and help them, in their struggle and what they have to do. The court system is a very emotional place. Everyone who goes to court is high tense. They're worried about their case. They're worried about if it's a traffic ticket. And as a result, I'd like to make sure that system there is working the best it can, given the taxpayer dollars we have.
You should be running for Cook County. Oh, did I say that? Oh, slap. I'm very. Did we decide if admirous is a word?
Sure.
I have admiration for you. I'm very admirous. Is that a word? Mike said it is after I used it.
gets
It's
the
not.
point
Valerie
across.
said it's not. Mike, would you please look it up on
I'm
your
on it.
magic
I'm
box?
on it. Yes, I'm on it.
Admirous. That you did this with the gangs, with the
Yes.
gang thing. Tell us real quickly about the program and what you could. Is there any way you could get things going today?
Well, the program was really centered around Joel. He had a heart for the kids. He was a former gang member and could relate to them. And it was a faith-based program. And it's good to tell these young people, don't go in gangs, don't commit crimes, but you have to give them something positive to go to. And we had to set up a gym where they could go, and we had mentors that could, talk with them and meet with them and give them something positive to grab hold of. And in the first couple of years, we had 30 different young people who quit the gangs.
Wow.
And it was very effective.
And this was in early 90s?
This was in early 90s, yes.
Wow. I think Dr. T from U46 got to talk to you a little bit.
Well,
Anyway, moving along here, have you ever held public office before?
sure, I have.
Tell us.
From 1996 to 2000, I was on the Kane County Board.
And? Tell me that again.
I was on the Kane County Board. I was taking a breath, sorry. And served on the Judiciary Committee as well as the Public Health.
Uh-huh.
And got good experience there. And then after that, I focused more on my family, raising my kids.
Being an attorney?
Being an attorney, yes.
We have a general practice?
I do, in South Elgin.
Okay, I thought you were going to say in South Holland.
No, not quite. South Elgin. In fact, at one time I was the only attorney in South Elgin, but now there's 5 or 6 of us.
No kidding.
Yeah.
You know Janet Ellingson?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I adore her.
Yep.
I hope you're
Wonderful.
friends because I absolutely
Wonderful
adore her.
lady.
She's been a guest and talking about divorce law, and she's just terrific.
Yep.
Guest and attorney and person. I
Very
adore her.
professional, yes.
Yeah. Give us again a little bit of information more about the overall responsibilities of the office that you're running for, like so it's easier
sure.
for me to grasp.
Oh, yeah. Well, again, the basic job is to create, maintain, and keep the court files for Kane County. And Kane County is right now in what's called the 16th Judicial Circuit.
Okay.
And it sounds like it's a pretty simple job, but it gets really complicated fast. First of all, even though the circuit clerk is elected countywide, it's not a countywide office under the Illinois Constitution. It is really a court office. It is a non-judicial office of the court branch.
Mm-hmm.
So while you are subject to laws passed by the legislature, the circuit clerk is also subject to rules passed by the Illinois Supreme Court, as well as rules promulgated by the local circuit chief judge. So you have these different things, powers, rules, all kind of pulling at you a different way. And so you have to be careful. You have to understand that you have to communicate these different obligations. Then on top of that, it's there's more. The county board decides what your budget is. They're the ones who have the purse strings.
Your budget.
That's right.
Okay.
And so now you're faced with this situation. You have to be accountable, and it's not a bad thing to be accountable to the county board. You're accountable to the state legislator and to the judges.
And to the taxpayers.
Exactly. But that's where communication comes in, and that's a strong point of mine because communication can bring cooperative. What's the word I'm
Pick
looking
one
for?
out of the hat.
Yeah, I know, exactly. Collaboration so that you can get your job done better.
Cool. I'm just teasing you.
Yeah, I know.
I'm listening.
And admirous is not a word, just so you know.
Oh.
What is it?
It's a part of the I.
It doesn't exist, so I
Exactly.
can't make up a word.
I admire you. Go
There you
look
go.
at the conjugation of admire.
Mm-hmm.
Admire, admirous.
No.
Admired, admiring.
English
We've
101.
been through this already. No.
I'm
I
gonna
admire you and what you do. You can say that.
Okay, that's what I wanted to say. I admire you and what you do, and I am very admirous of you.
Well, that's very flattering. Thank you.
I'm serious. I know I make light of a lot of things, but boy, these boys in the studio know when I'm serious.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
you
serious.
Mm-hmm.
And when I do that
Not
finger
anymore.
thing. So your prior public service makes you qualified for the office?
In part, it does. I understand
What else?
how government works, but I also have a master's in business.
Okay.
And that allows me to, give my experience dealing with finances.
Sure.
Also, as an attorney, I understand how the court system works. After all, the courtroom is my workplace.
Yeah.
And I'm really familiar with how the system is supposed to work and the problems that come up that we need to make the changes on. And then finally, I really know how to manage, and that's where some of my leisure activities have helped because I've managed baseball for dozen years or so.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Little League?
Little League.
Give us the Cliff Notes.
The Cliff Notes is I started back in like 1996, and have coached all along all these years. Sometimes coaching 2 or 3 teams because I have two sons who were playing. And it culminated in 2007 when I coached a team to the state championship from Elgin Continental Little League.
Nice.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Valerie's giving the thumbs up.
Did you like Moneyball?
Yeah, I read the book. I didn't see the movie
Was
yet.
the book good?
The book is excellent.
Okay.
And, of course, I'm a baseball fan.
Really?
Yeah. And, of course, the word fan comes from fanatic.
That's right.
That's right. I'm
But
a
not
fanatic.
admirous. Doesn't
Yeah,
come from
exactly.
admire.
Right.
You ever
But
get
fan
into
comes
arguments-
does come from fanatic.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
What, Mikey?
You ever get any arguments with the umpires out
Oh,
there? You being a lawyer, I imagine you'd be pretty good at doing that.
I've never been thrown out of a game, but
Okay.
yes, I've gotten in arguments with the umpires.
Okay.
And one technique that I learned in part from being an attorney, if you ask questions, you're going to get in less trouble. if you call the umpire an idiot, you're gone. But if you ask him, was that really the right call?
Oh, is
he's
that
less,
better?
Yes, he's less likely to throw you
Mike's
out
an
of the game.
umpire as well.
So
As an umpire, we were taught to turn the lawyers around and walk them towards their bench as you're explaining things, so you get them on their way. So before they know it, they're at home and they want to stay at home. So you just walk away, and that's the end of the situation.
That's a very, very good idea. That's a very good idea. Yeah. We had, in fact, even in the state championship series, we had an umpire call that was very questionable, and I was under a lot of pressure because, I knew they were wrong, but you can't change the man in blue's mind, and you got to try to push to some extent, but you can't push too far.
Are you enjoying the baseball talk, Eva?
I'm hanging on every word. Can't you tell?
There you go.
I am.
I can ask you the most important question.
Sure.
Cubs or Sox?
Both.
Good.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Hey.
And here's why. I grew up a Cub fan because back in 1969,
the
back in
Cubs.
69 was when the Cubs had that big run and of course fell short. So I became a Cub fan at that point.
You are a Southsider and you were a Cub fan?
That's right.
That's George
Closet
Rollins.
Cub fan.
Exactly.
Yeah,
However, as I grew up, I spent a lot of time at Sox Park, and both my sons are Sox fans.
Oh, wonderful.
So
We'll accept
because I
that.
love my kids, I got to love the Sox a little bit.
There you go. That's good enough for me.
Can we get back to the political side of this interview?
Sure we can.
Okay, but you know what? It's halftime.
Oh, that's a
So-
that's a football term.
So
That's right.
hold that thought.
It's 4.5 innings.
Hold
We're done.
those